Morning Show right here at WBOK, 12:30 a.m. I am Will Sutton, and I am blessed to be granted by the dear Lord for another day, planting my feet on the floor and got me over to this Black Talk radio station. And with me is Eddie Francis.
Good morning.
Yeah, he was here yesterday.
I was.
And we didn't scare you off. Came back, huh?
No, I mean it's hard to scare me off, man.
All right.
It's pretty hard. I've seen worse.
Well, I've known you for a little bit, and I've seen the happiest of times, and I've seen some battles. I'll put it that way. Some battles.
Yeah.
So brother, I know you don't know how to pull through. So
Yeah, exactly.
How was that drive in today?
It was actually pretty good. So I have to say, I mean, I'm sure everybody really enjoys these updates about driving every morning, but I have to say, last night, Halima and I had dinner with a couple of friends of ours from Dallas, came in from Dallas to hang out for a few days. And they talked about how horrible they thought the driving in New Orleans was. And I was like, Dallas? I've lived in Dallas. Y'all really like to drive 3 inches off of people's bumpers. Like tailgating is a way of life. But it occurred to me because, people are always on social media asking which city has the worst driving. And I think every city has, quote unquote, the worst driving, at least every big city in some way. Yeah. I think what you have to figure out is what kind of worst driving is it? So what makes it the worst driving? And so as we were talking, I said, well, people in New Orleans drive like children. I said, people in Dallas drive like they're high. It's like it's just different degrees of bad driving. But no, this morning was fine. Everybody behaved themselves for the most part. We were good.
Well, good. Of course, the weather is changing once again.
Yeah. It was beautiful yesterday.
In the 50s, and we're going to go into the 70s.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice day.
Man.
Yeah.
Something. So that's looking good for us today. So I'm looking forward to that. For those of you all who have plans, it looks like you're going to have a weekend of high of 78 today, 81 on Saturday, and 81 on Sunday. And I see nothing but sunshine.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Almost doesn't matter what you plan to do. It's like it's going to be all right.
It's going to be all right. Yes, it's a sit out on a patio type of weekend for me.
Y'all all right now?
Yeah.
No grass, huh?
No, I think the grass is going to behave. It was cold, so it didn't grow that fast. So
okay, all right. Okay.
I'm going to be fine. I'm going to watch it.
Good. Well, we've got quite a show for you today. But first, want to update you. There was a boy shot in Algiers. And the New Orleans Police Department was called to the 900 block of Hendy Street in the Whitney area. I know where the Whitney area is, but I'm not sure about Hendy Street. So 900 block of Hendy Street in Whitney area. They found a boy, age unknown, who had been shot. The victim was taken to a local hospital. Police are investigating that shooting, and there's no other information available about the boy's condition, about the shooting. So, of course, the New Orleans Police Department would love to get any information that you might have about the boy, about the shooting, about Hendy Street, anything along those lines, I'm sure would be helpful to them. So keep that in mind, and see. Hopefully the boy. I mean, they're calling him a boy, so hopefully the young man is going to be okay. We pray for him and his family that things will work out all right. We also had a probation check, and this was okay. So a Roblox programmer was arrested on porn counts, and then he was arrested again, this time on 40 counts of pornography involving juveniles under 13.
Oh, wow. You say he's a Roblox programmer?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Under 13. So the probation officer was doing a probation check. and he spotted a child-sized sex doll in the bedroom. This is just a basic compliance check. Now, I have not had probation officers come to my house, but my understanding with probation, you kind of know when they're coming. But there was the child sex doll in his bedroom. This is Jamie Bourne, was arrested February 27th on one count of possessing, trafficking, or importing a child sex doll, which is a felony. And that's according to an affidavit about that arrest. But then he was rebooked this week on 40 child pornography counts after forensic analysis with Homeland Security Investigations assistance, where they completed a search of his laptop, external hard drives, and cell phone, and found many more images. And this is bond was set at, keep in mind, 40 child pornography counts. Bond was set at $50,000 per count.
Oh. Okay.
Per count.
Wow.
Yeah, that adds up quickly. So he's been on probation for nearly 2 years for illegal use of a weapon after throwing grenades and airsoft at a couple of Central City tent dwellers, firing a semi-automatic pistol at them and yelling racist slurs in March of 2023. And he got a 6-month suspended sentence in that case. So it looks like the guy going to be in some deeper trouble.
Yeah.
With some repeat offenses of the same kind, and then others. And that, of course, is as reported by Missy Wilkinson, my colleague over at the Times-Picayune. I saw that story and was like, oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
What is that about? But that's most unfortunate. We'll be looking at some more news and information today, but we've got guests for you today that you're going to want to stay tuned to hear. We plan to hear from State Senator-elect Sidney Bartholomew. That'll be coming up soon. And we expect to hear from our friends at New Orleans and Company on the show. And we also expect to hear from our friends at Liberty Bank, keeping us financially healthy. So that's good chunks of information and news that you'll want to stay attuned for. We appreciate our WBLK family of listeners, whether you're listening on WBLK 1230 a.m. or if you're watching and listening on WBLK's YouTube channel or watching and listening on Facebook Live. We got some time if you want to give us a call. Give us a call and tell us what's on your mind. What do you think about that pornography case? $50,000 per count? Too much? Too little? That's just one thing. Don't limit yourselves to that. Eddie, what's that number they can call?
It is 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422.
You're listening to WBLK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about
all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Good Friday morning, I'm Daryl Forges with WDSU News, and here's your headlines. A boy is rushed to the hospital after being shot. Police tell us a boy was shot at least once around 1 a.m. this morning. The shooting happened on Hindi Street in Algiers. We're working to find out more information from police, like the condition of the victim and a possible suspect. As the war with Iran continues, looking at the price of gas here at home, it's 6 cents higher from yesterday, at $3.55 a gallon on average in Louisiana. That's the same price in Jefferson Parish, a few cents cheaper in Orleans Parish, and on the North Shore, the average price is $3.52. Today, Mayor Helena Moreno will be revealing more details on the master plan to continue to grow the airport. Today, a news conference will be held to discuss the airport's 20-year master plan, which focuses on major upgrades, expanded air service, and economic growth. All right, the Pelicans have a win streak going, y'all. They beat the Clippers again last night after a stunning comeback victory over LA earlier this week. Trey Murphy put up 27 points, and the team was just clicking. It's the Pelicans' third straight win and seventh straight at home. They're back in action tomorrow against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And in Baton Rouge, starting today, head coach Kim Mulkey and star player Flau'jae Johnson will lead LSU in their first game of the NCAA tournament. The Tigers face off against the Jacksonville Dolphins at 5 p.m. Johnson, who is a senior this year, is hoping she can lead her team back to the Final Four for one last time. Best of luck to them as they make their way through the tournament. I'm Daryl Forges. That's your headlines for WBOK. Have a great day.
That's right. It's party time each and every Sunday night at 7 p.m. on WBOK. It's the Throwback Throwdown with DJ Wick as he brings you the best in old school from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the early 2Ks. Plus, the party goes to another level at 9 p.m. with the Throwback Throwdown Party Mix to round out the night. It's the Throwback Throwdown Sunday nights at 7 p.m. on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
Good morning, wake up.
The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome to the Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton. I'm here with Eddie Francis. And if you got somewhere to be at 7:15, you got 1 minute, or part of 1 minute, because it'll probably be 7:15 and just a short little bit of time. Remember, it's school day, so the school zone speed limit, 20 miles per hour around the schools, still in effect until 9 a.m., which is the time when we get out of here so we can make room for the front porch and the rest of the daily programming at WBOK. So be careful, slow down, help the kiddos and the babies get to where they're going to do their jobs today, to school, and get their education. So take your time, make sure you got everything that you need at home rather than taking care of those things in the driver's seat while you're behind the wheel. And Lord knows that Eddie doesn't want to see you putting on makeup and trimming your beard on his way after the show. So, yeah. So
please do not do that.
Yep. So look, one of the reasons I suggest that you have a diverse news diet, taking in news and information from a variety of sources, is that sometimes there are reports that might not be like breaking news, but it's good information to hear and know about. And sometimes it's specific to a particular news outlet. So in this case, WDSU's Casey Scrim, investigative reporter, has reported on the fire hydrants across the city of New Orleans. And a lot of them need repair. Some of them have even been out of service for months, and look like out of the 16,000. So we have thousands of these across the city, and that's a good thing. But about 454 hydrants need to be repaired. That's a lot of hydrants. If you live near one or two or three of those hydrants,
yeah,
you ought to be concerned.
It becomes very real if one of them is one close to you. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So according to data that Casey and team obtained from the Sewage and Water Board, the hydrant problems have been reported across the city from uptown to New Orleans east, and that includes problems like leaks, damages after being struck, or unable to open or close. Unable to open or close. So the fire hydrant's job is to provide water to the fire department in the case of fire. If you're not able to open it, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And if you're not able to close it, that's a lot of waste of water.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, and then on top of that, if you can't close it, you're talking about water damage, which complicates
That's
things
true.
a lot.
That
So
too.
now you're going to have to worry about having to do street repairs because of all the water that's going to be going out onto the street. So, yeah, that becomes another problem for the city.
Yeah. So according to Casey, the agency's average repair timeline ranges from about 76 days, which is that's long.
That's a few days.
Yeah, that's long.
That's quite a few days.
That's the minimum.
That's more than 2 months. Yeah.
That's the minimum.
Yeah.
Ooh. From 76 days to more than 200 days.
Wow.
That's a long time to be waiting for
Wow.
the fire hydrant
That
in front of
is.
your house or down the street or, where you work to get repairs. Meanwhile, what happens if there's a fire? So let's hope that none of these are in neighborhoods where they are needed anytime soon, and that they will get there to fix the ones near you as quickly as possible. So that's 454 fire hydrants in New Orleans that need to be repaired. And apparently, according to the Sewage and Water Board, they're addressing these issues every week, but they still have hundreds to go.
Mm.
So if one is near you,
Yeah.
you might want to check and see if the ones around you are working and capable of handling water for the New Orleans Fire Department. Well, we've got more news and information coming up, and we're expecting Senator-elect Sidney Bartholomew. He's got a busy schedule, but we'll see if he'll be available sometime soon. A reminder that we have New Orleans and Company coming up in the remainder of the show. And we're going to have Liberty Bake. We're going to have Kelly Schultz from New Orleans and Company. And we're going to hear from Angel Burns and our Senior Vice President, James Sablich. I think I got that right. What do you think?
I think we got it right.
Sablich.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're going to be talking about commercial lending. So that's going to be good information that you're going to want to stick around for. Once again, it's 7:20 a.m. Make sure the kiddos get to school safely and you get where you're going safely by not being one of the crazy drivers and drive according to the speed limit.
Yep.
Watch out for the kids and let everybody get where they need to go. All right, good news, good news, good news, good news. Good morning, Senator-elect Sidney Bartholomew. This is Will Sutton and Eddie Francis you're on with. Good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm great. How are you?
Fabulous,
Doing well.
fabulous. So,
Good to be here this morning.
so how's it been since the election to feel success and that you're getting down to some quick work?
It's pretty exciting. I've been making some trips back and forth to Baton Rouge and getting acclimated there. Really excited to get work going, really.
So, have you been sworn in yet?
That'll happen next week sometime, as early as Tuesday.
So, what are they letting you do before actually being sworn in? How's that transition process?
Just kind of getting the lay of the land. Typical if you're starting any job, kind of a bit of an orientation, but no official business just yet.
Okay. Are they going to give you an opportunity to file any bills since the pre-filing deadline for incumbent legislators passed? But of course, it's no fault of your own. You were elected when you were elected, Are they going to give you a shot at that, or how's that going to
Yes,
work?
there's a late file deadline that we will meet, so we should get an opportunity to file a few bills for sure.
So as you go in, what are your impressions? I mean, we know that you had to get elected and then just jump in as things got started. But
Right.
what are your initial impressions of the flow of things and how you see yourself contributing?
Yeah, as far as the flow of things, the Senate seems to be pretty efficient. They get business done throughout the day. So by the time things get to the floor, a lot of the decision making has been done. I think what I'm really excited about most is the opportunity to learn through committee assignments and participating there. And then, it's going to be a learning process to get the procedural stuff down. But there is a lot of help in that building. There are a lot of folks that play different roles and that I'm already meeting and getting introduced to what it is that they do and how they can help. And along with that, I'm going to be surrounded by colleagues that have been there some time and can guide me where I need guidance. And I think there'll be a quick transition into being prepared to get this work done.
So, have they identified where you'll be sitting once you're sworn in?
Yes, there is an available seat, and I actually was there yesterday and saw where that seat was.
All right. Do you happen to remember who you're behind, in front of, who's to your right or to your left? Anything like that?
Not exactly. I know
Okay.
in close proximity is going to be Senator Carter, Senator Duplessis,
Okay.
and Senator Harris. Just I don't remember which order.
Okay. So you'll be in somewhat friendly geography with the
That's right.
New Orleans delegation there.
That's right.
And as I envision the Senate chamber, which is very different from the House chamber, how close are you to the door where you enter the chamber?
I think I'm actually on the second row from the desk, so all the way pushed all the way to the front.
Oh, well, that's pretty good. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Mr. Bartholomew. You'll be
I
able
don't
to
think
see.
it's based on any achievement of mine, but that's where I'm at.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. So, how different has it been to be Senate candidate Sidney Bartholomew and now Senator-elect Sidney Bartholomew? What has your rhythm of your days been like, from campaign to special election to special election runoff to the voters have decided it's you? How have your days changed in the recent weeks?
Yeah, I think the campaign just is a somewhat of a hectic environment. You're kind of hopping. You're here, there. Then you get some opportunities will present itself. We actually did. I don't know how many folks really know how much of a grassroots movement we had. We actually did a lot of groundwork. We knocked doors. So we would go from meeting to meeting, and if there was an opportunity, we would go out and knock doors, just kind of as a last minute decision. If we had canvassers out, we would join them. So that kind of stuff. So it was really a lot of movement during the campaign. And the district's not small. So, we had to touch everywhere from Violet to Bywater, Marigny, back over to Gentilly, out to New Orleans East. So we were spread out quite a bit during that process. It was really good to get to know the different stakeholders in these different communities and traveling through them. But it took a lot of work to get to each corner of the district. Right now, I'm kind of hyper focused on Baton Rouge more than any other place, which takes a bit of a commute, but it's just the environment's just a little bit different. It's more focused and less spread out.
If I remember correctly, you have the opportunity to appoint a legislative assistant. Is that correct?
That's correct, and yes,
Have you made that decision yet?
I'll know by next week.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And what has been happening in terms of the legislative seat since State Senator Joe Bowie became Chancellor of SUNO in August to through this time where there's been a vacancy and now you're becoming Senator Sidney Bartholomew sworn in next week?
Well, as far as the seat is concerned, not a whole lot has happened because we weren't in session. But I've had a great opportunity to sit with Dr. Bowie several times. That has kind of been like your previous question. Some of the things that have happened since the race is over, and we're getting kind of caught up and brought up to speed on some of the things that he had going on when he was still in the seat. Some things that he'd like to see completed, and just a really good drill down on procedure and just some different legislation to keep an eye on. And so that was really helpful. I will probably keep Dr. Bowie's district office.
That's over on Elysian Fields, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure that we'll put that in play, everything in play as of next week when we swear in. So that's the plan going forward, that we'll keep that office. So yeah, that was a good opportunity. I think we traveled the district like I mentioned a second ago, and folks were really pleased with Dr. Bowie's service, and so I'm glad to learn from him.
So I want to go back really quickly to the campaign trail. As you did your campaign and you had conversations with folks in your district, what is your sense of some of the main concerns that they've had?
Yeah, and I would say on the trail that with 80,000 voters and 60,000 households in the district, you have some unique neighborhoods inside of that district, and they have unique issues, unique challenges. Something that's district wide, and this is not just a buzzword, is affordability. That's kind of hitting everyone district wide, and it's affecting the whole city and the whole state. So that by way of rising insurance costs has affected people, by way of rising property taxes. So there are various ways affordability is affecting folks' ability to stay here in town, and some folks are moving. We're losing folks because of that reason. And so that's one of the district-wide issues. Some of the more neighborhood-specific things were some of the issues in the lower Ninth Ward with blight, vacant land that hasn't been cared for, tire dumping. Then you have New Orleans East, who has issues with they need economic development. They have drainage and infrastructure issues. So there are issues that you can kind of identify throughout the district that are specific to these different neighborhoods. And then the way I look at it is there are some district-wide issues as well that need to be addressed. Healthcare is a district-wide issue. There's no particular neighborhood that has a particular healthcare issue that the others don't, but it is something that we need assistance with.
So the voters who chose to vote elected you. One of the things that happens with a special election, and the turnout is not as strong as some of the other regularly scheduled elections. So we don't expect higher turnout, although I wish it were otherwise. So there were a bit more than 11,000 people who voted in the special election, and that dropped down to about 8,400 in the special election runoff. So from about a 14% turnout to a 10.5% turnout. So for your purposes, you got the win. But for the purpose of voter engagement, what's your thinking about how we can get more people engaged? And I know you haven't even gotten started yet, but let's just look forward to a reelection campaign. And how can we get more people out to participate rather than just say he's doing an okay job, or I'm not going to vote him because he's not doing an okay job?
Yeah, I mean, I really wish voters could get a little break, but they can't because there was some voter fatigue that we noticed, and we kind of anticipated going into our election. Just after spending months on the new city administration's elections, those races, and folks were just kind of had been inundated with political information and were a little less interested this go around. And then we didn't have a lot on the ballot, so that also played a role in it. Once we get to a scheduled election, I think there'll be more on the ballot and a little bit more piqued interest in the races. That'll bring more folk out. But I think in the interim also, messaging and making sure that the district is aware what their senator is doing, which a lot of folks seem to be a little disengaged from the state legislature and that part of the process, the political process. So I think if we can make sure that folks understand what's happening in Baton Rouge, how it affects them, we plan to do a good amount of in-district engagement from town halls and those sort of roundtable meetings. And I said on the trail that I want to be a collaborator with community members and understand what it is that they see the future of their neighborhoods to look like, and then work to implement those ideas into what we do in Baton Rouge. So I want to do a lot of engagement in the months that we are not in Baton Rouge, and I think that will generate some interest in the upcoming election that I'll have to again participate in. I think it's like 14 months.
So for those who have been living with State Senator Joe Bowie as their senator, and now they'll have you as their senator, what are a couple of the issues that have continued that you feel strongly about as you become senator? It's one thing to talk about it on a campaign. These are things we have to address. So now you'll have that opportunity. What are some of the things that State Senator Joe Bowie was dealing with and you feel have to continue to be dealt with both in the district and statewide?
Yeah, one of the things we talked about that I took some interest in, and I think it's something we need to look into, is equal pay for women. That was one thing that he had mentioned that he had tried to pass, had some difficulty getting it through, but there was a law in the books that said that equal pay for women had to be utilized throughout all state agencies, but that they could not get it passed to also include companies and entities that contract with the state. So that was one thing that piqued my interest, because I'm a firm believer in it. I also was fortunate enough to be elected, primarily by women, and their causes will be my causes, and I want to address them as I get an opportunity to in the Senate.
Great. So one of the things that happens with a state senator, which is different from a state rep, is that your district overlaps with multiple House districts. So if I have this wrong, tell me, but that includes 93, 97, 99, 100, and 103. All right. So in 100, there's a new state representative elect, Dana Henry. And have you and Mr. Henry had conversations about things in that part of your district, which is his district?
Yeah, we haven't spent a lot of time. We've spent some time. So that's something that we have discussed putting on our schedules is for us to get together. So that'll happen in the very near future, and we can hone in on what our particular interests are and how we can work together.
Okay. When you have that bill filing opportunity, what are you focused on?
Yeah, we definitely want to address, like I mentioned, the affordability thing through insurance. There's some new legislation that went in so far this session through early filing, and so we'll try to complement something that's already been filed. And so when we were running, we couldn't predict what was going to come out this year. So them having addressed some of the issue, we'll find something that complements that and can provide even more relief for constituents of District 3. So that's something that we want to focus on. And I'm looking at some other bills. We're kind of crafting some stuff that isn't fully put together yet. That'll come out soon once we have it more developed.
Okay. And as you get ready to take your seat officially as a state senator, what do you want people in your district and outside of your district to know that how you'll be doing this job? You're different from State Senator Joe Bowie. People have loved him in that district, but now they have a new senator. What can they expect that is, I'll be continuing these kinds of things, and what will be different?
I'm not sure what will be different. I can say what they will get, what they voted for. They voted for someone that has a deep love for this community and a deep interest in helping it. I want to be here as someone that can deliver for the district, that can, fill some gaps in some of the stuff that may have not been achieved, but worked on in the previous administration or the previous senator, and that I can build on and improve on. Not from lack of trying, but these things take work and they take time. The legislature is a bit of a slower role than city government, and so we may be able to accomplish some things that were not in the previous in the view of the previous senator, but just hadn't gotten done yet. But basically, what I would want to communicate is that voters are getting someone that's going to work hard, that's going to be a strong voice, that's going to make sure that we are in the discussion in the Senate, and that the city of New Orleans and St. Bernard Parish both want back their fair share of what they put into the state budget, and you're going to get someone that's going to fight for that.
So, considering who you are, considering your professional background, et cetera, what strengths do you think you bring to this Senate seat? What are you looking forward to really leveraging so that you can get the job done and accomplish what the voters are trusting you to do?
Yeah, I think, I guess it's somewhat of a coincidence that we have at least two areas in the district that have languished from an economic development standpoint. They need development. There's going to need to be someone in place that would be a good steward of making sure that we create and pass for businesses to come in and invest in, like the lower Ninth Ward and New Orleans East. Being a builder, I think, is going to be a good new perspective to what that process looks like, how to get folks in, how to get folks interested in investment in those areas. And, I think we have already in the Orleans delegation some really great senators and some really good perspectives. I just think what I bring is a little bit different, being a small business owner and being a contractor. And it just so happens that these districts need this sort of development. So I'm happy to play that role and bring that perspective that complements what's already in Baton Rouge from the Orleans delegation and be a team member in getting things done for the district.
Okay, I know you got to go soon, so let me get this in. Some of the major issues, concerns, desires involve New Orleans East Hospital, Bayou Phoenix, Lincoln Beach. There are others, but I'll just name those three. What's your thinking about where we stand with each of those?
Yeah, so those are really important projects and trying to get a sense of how we can move those forward. Committed during the campaign that those are projects that I would work on, and I fully intend to do that. I think that, like Lincoln Beach, for example, they already have some funding. They could use some additional funding. So those are things that we'll look at getting appropriated once I'm in the Senate. So really excited. I think I mentioned also on the trailer that, I'm looking at New Orleans East as an opportunity, not a challenge. A place that's land rich. It has an engaged community that really wants to see it improved and wants it to live up to its full potential. And so I'm excited to work on those projects, excited to dig into what possibilities there are in these different, projects in New Orleans East.
All right, so you're in full support of making sure that Lincoln Beach happens as the plans have been in the works in the last few years. That's correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. And New Orleans East, the hospital does exist, but
Yes.
there have been concerns about whether it will continue to exist or if it will be offer much fewer services. There have been a number of community meetings about that. Do you have any insights about that one?
Not just yet, but I plan to sit with Dr. Davis and see what it is exactly, more specifically that they are challenged with in terms of funding, because I think those services are based on funding. So how we can help in that process, again, that's one of the programs that we wanted to expand, not shrink. So yes, absolutely want to work on that.
And the Bayou Phoenix project has just had a big couple of announcements about developers who've been identified for key parts of that effort. The legislature is being asked to help with the funding of part of that public-private effort. What's your thinking about where Bayou Phoenix stands and state support or no? And do you see that fitting into the mayor's legislative agenda?
So that's one of the things we need to meet on as far as the mayor's legislative agenda. I think that the community is ready for a project there ASAP. I think that I would really support any efforts that we can get done in Baton Rouge to assist that project. I know there's a funding gap there, so to the extent that we can meet that gap, I would be interested in finding out and working toward.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the Good Morning Show. Hope you have a fabulous day and a great weekend. I know you've been at work already. Oh, one more question. Did you have the opportunity to gather with the Legislative Black Caucus yet?
Yes. I would say, briefly, but we did attend a luncheon in Baton Rouge.
Okay, good.
Yes. We meeting all the members and sat in on some some bill discussions when I was up there. So, yeah, it's been good getting to know those folks.
All right. Well, thank you, Senator-elect Sidney Bartholomew. Good luck with everything that you're working on. I know folks in your district are excited to see what you're going to do and see how you can be helpful to folks in the community and some of the things that they care about quite deeply. So hope you'll return to the Good Morning Show to fill us in on what's going on in the coming days and weeks. So thank you for joining us this morning.
Yes, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I'll definitely come back. I'm really excited to get to work, and I'll definitely come back and do some reporting about what we're able to accomplish in Baton Rouge. And look forward to it. Thanks again for having me.
Okay. Lord's blessings,
Thank you.
sir. Have a wonderful day. All right. Good conversation. Good update from Senator-elect Sidney Bartholomew. He's not senator yet, but he will be sworn in next week. Looking to get down the work on some issues specific to New Orleans East and Lower Ninth Ward, but also some statewide issues like equal pay for women.
Yes.
Kind of hard to imagine that people would be against that, but they are.
We live in interesting times as always.
Yep. Well, look, folks, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, Eddie and I are going to be talking about some news and information we think you ought to know, and that I'm sure you do want to know. That'll be happening after the break. Stay tuned, because we've got Kelly Schultz from New Orleans and Company coming up, and we also have Angel Burns and Senior Vice President James Sablich coming on to talk about commercial lending from Liberty Bank. All of that after the break. But we got a few minutes to take your calls if you're interested to get something off your chest or share or ask a question, and perhaps we can give you an answer. And if not, we'll give you a response. Eddie, what's that number?
504-582-9422, 504-582-9422.
This is WBOK 1230 AM with New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Another mostly sunny day. Also, temperatures warming up a little bit first half of the day. We will feel that difference. And then as we get to the afternoon, expecting highs 76 to 80 degrees. Light winds for us. And then for tonight, mostly clear. Lows 52 to 57. And then as we look ahead to Saturday, highs 78 to 84. More 80s as we approach Sunday on into next week. From the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Richard.
On Auto Trends with JeffCars.com, here's a snippet of some of what we cover. GPS pioneer Gladys West.
We worked long hours computing trajectory orbits and satellite orbits, trying to get the data and everything correct enough.
Auto analyst Mark Bland.
14 new vehicle deals that happen in this country out of every 100 that women don't have a fingerprint on.
To tune in, check out Auto Trends with JeffCars.com, Saturdays at 4 p.m. on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
Come celebrate the history, legacy, and culture of the African diaspora with the Congo Squares Rhythm Festival presented by the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation on March 28th and 29th in Louis Armstrong Park. Don't miss 2 full days of live musical performances featuring Chawa, Zigaboo Modal East, Big Sam's Funky Nation, and many, many more. A variety of food vendors, handmade works of art, and the return of the highly anticipated Class Got Brass competition. This event is free and open to the public. For more information, visit CongoSquareRhythms.com.
Hey, this is D. Riley from the 90s Hits R&B Jams. Make sure you listen to WBOK 1230 AM every Saturday night from 7 until 9 p.m. I'll be giving you the best R&B jams from the 90s. That's right, all your favorites and more. With me, D. Riley, your host of the 90s Hits, right here on WBOK 1230 AM, or listen online at WBOK1230.com. WBOK, the station you listen to longer.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton.
When it comes to family planning, should you go with a will or a trust?
A will is like leaving instructions to the court. It tells them who gets what, but your family still has to go through a succession, which can be costly and time-consuming.
A trust, on the other hand, avoids court altogether. So when the time comes, everything transfers smoothly to your loved ones.
It's a little more work up front, but way less hassle and expense later. Plan smart, save time, and take care of your family.
This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
A careless driver can change your life in an instant. Do you know what to do or who to call? If you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident and do not have an attorney, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free consultation. We can answer all of your questions and estimate the potential value of your case. Call Auto Accident Help Desk and connect with an expert personal injury attorney.
Call 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524.
Don't worry how to handle your medical bills, lost wages, and pain. We will get you the money you deserve.
They got me way more than the insurance company offered.
The consultation is free, and you do not pay any legal fees unless we win or settle your case. Make the smart call. If you've been injured in an auto accident, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free legal consultation.
Call 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton, and with me is Eddie Francis.
Good morning.
And we're with you, and we also are with Jared on the other side of the glass, holding it down, making things go smoothly.
Command a few words.
Here. Yes, yep. So, and we appreciate you, whether you are listening on WBOK 1230 AM, or if you are listening and watching on WBOK's YouTube channel. And, of course, we always love to see that our Facebook family is watching and listening on Facebook Live. We can't see you. Wish we could, although I'm sure some of you definitely don't want us to see you. But hello, how y'all doing out there? Look, we've got a lot of stuff going on. If it's March Madness.
Yes.
And Eddie, we got some Black perspective on NCAA.
Yeah.
And then we got, quite a number of Black players on the predominantly white institution teams.
Yeah.
Doing some big things too.
Yeah, this has been a good year for HBCUs on the men's side of the bracket. Well, the women's side too, but on the men's side of the bracket, Howard got in through the not the play-in game, but the first four that play into the tournament. Unfortunately, they took one on the chin last night. They're out because of Michigan. A local team, one of our local teams, McNeese, they're out. They lost to Vanderbilt. However, there are two HBCUs left on the men's side. Prairie View is going to be playing Florida tonight, 8:25. That's going to be a tough one. Florida's ranked number one in their number one seed in their bracket. And go Big Blue, land of the golden sunshine, Tennessee State taking on Iowa State, 150 today. I'll be checking out my Tigers today. And let's make it respectable, fellas.
Okay,
let's make it respectable.
All right,
Iowa State is going to be a tough out for them. That's going to be a real tough out.
Yeah.
On the women's side, though, we have Southern, who they won a good game against Samford, but they got to take on South Carolina.
Woo! Are you kidding me?
No, they got to play
Dawn Staley?
Yeah, they got to play South Carolina tomorrow at noon. They got to play them at noon.
Just for a little context, the LSU women have found it difficult to beat the South Carolina Gamecocks. The LSU women,
a lot of teams have found it difficult to beat
them. Find a way to beat the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Yeah. So Southern, they beat Samford to get into the tournament, and the Jaguars, their gift is that they get to play South Carolina tomorrow. And then Howard's women are still alive. They are going to play Ohio State tomorrow. at 10:30. So good morning to all my friends who are Howard alumni, Prairie View alumni, and then of course LSU. LSU tonight they're going to play Jacksonville University. They're going to play them at 5:00. So we'll see how far LSU can get in this thing. I think they're seeded number 4 in their bracket. So there we go.
Yeah. Well, it's not unusual to see HBCUs get into the NCAA for a lot of reasons with how those decisions are made, including winning championships and tournaments and all. But it's tough to get from a 16 seed into the 32, the 8, the 4, the 2. It's really tough. And for context, schools like South Carolina Gamecocks or Ohio, they have tremendous resources. And they have amazing scholarship opportunities.
Oh, yeah.
And so it is not simply a matter of talent.
Yeah, it's and the difference maker with the number of HBCUs getting in was Tennessee State, because Tennessee State doesn't play in an HBCU conference. They play in the Ohio Valley Conference.
Right.
And also, it could expand more because Hampton and North Carolina A&T are now in a Colonial Athletic Conference.
Right.
They're no longer in the MEAC.
Yeah. They left MEAC, went to Big South, and then moved over.
So what could happen in future years is you could see more HBCUs in the NCAA tournament. So that could get very, very interesting. But it's a good year, and we'll see. We'll see what my Tigers can do later on, and what the Panthers can do versus the Gators.
Yeah, one of your alma maters.
Yes, one of my alma maters. Yes,
Tennessee State.
Yeah, Tennessee State, man, land of the golden sunshine.
All right. Well, look, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're expecting to hear from Kelly Schultz and from the New Orleans and Company, hear about what's going on in New Orleans in terms of hospitality and tourism. Lots has been happening, and she'll fill us in and give us the scoop on some things and some updates on some other things. It is 7:59 a.m., and this is the Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton in conversation with Eddie Francis, and of course, we want to hear from you. So that number is 504-582-9422. If you didn't like the way I delivered it, Eddie can deliver it too.
504-582-9422. 504-582-9422. That's my broadcast voice.
Yeah. All right. This is WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
WBOK New Orleans, home of the Good Morning Show, 7 to 9 a.m. weekdays.
Here's what's trending this hour. The USS Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier is on the way home after catching fire in the Middle East. Flames broke out on March 12th while the ship was operating in the northern portion of the Red Sea. For nearly 30 hours, sailors battled the fire in the main laundry facility before it was finally put out. There was heavy damage to the USS R. Ford, the nation's newest carrier. I'm Bree Wood with What's Trending.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
I'm here with Eddie Francis, and got filled in on some NCAA stuff. Lots of good things for HBCUs this year. And, of course, we previously had good conversation with State Senator-elect Sidney Bartholomew. So he's getting ready to be sworn in, and he's got a number of other things going on so that he will be ready to rock and roll. Already identified his seat on the floor, and he's talked with former State Senator Joe Bowie, and he's getting prepared to fulfill that duty and fulfill that role that the voters chose him for to represent that district. Well, we are going into conversation with Kelly Schultz from New Orleans and Company. Kelly, you're on with Will Sutton and Eddie Francis. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Hey, Will. Hey, Eddie. I'm doing great. How are you?
Fabulous,
good.
fabulous. It's an incredibly beautiful day. The weather just a few days ago was in the 50s, 60s, and now we wake up in the 50s, but we're going to find ourselves in the high 70s. So, and bright sunshine. So what a wonderful tourism weekend, huh?
Yes, we have a wonderful tourism weekend, and we did last weekend as well. Last weekend was just absolutely beautiful and off the charts with a bunch of major events in the city.
So we've got a sold-out event, a strong start to spring. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so last weekend, it was beautiful weather in New Orleans as it is today, but we had a number of events happening around the city. Of course, there was Super Sunday. Also, we had the Entrepreneur Week, New Orleans Entrepreneur Week, New Orleans Book Fest. We had a number of St. Patrick's Day parades and festivities all over the city. And then we also had the Savannah Bananas, which was in town for the first time. They sold out the Caesars Superdome for 2 nights in a row. People came from all over the region, all over the country, really, to see the Savannah Bananas, who are, I think, branding geniuses and have such loyal fans who were decked out from head to toe in Savannah Bananas gear and really enjoying New Orleans. So,
okay, so wait, Kelly. Okay, I gotta stop at the Savannah Bananas. Okay, so my wife and I did the book festival. We're on our way from the book festival. We're passing the Superdome, and I was like, "What is happening over there?" And I'm like, "What's all the yellow?" And I was like, "Is there a concert? Who's having a concert?" And so I get home and find out that the Savannah Bananas, and I was crushed that I had no idea that they were coming. I was crushed. Oh, I've always wanted to see them.
I know they have such. There's so much intrigue and so much. They have such loyal fans, and people are so curious about this, and so. They basically turned the floor of the Caesars Superdome into a baseball field. It was a baseball game, essentially, but so much more than that. It's so entertaining. They put on an entire show. I know people that brought their entire family, and they absolutely loved it. For us, it was great because of Savannah Bananas and all of these big events. The hotels were over 90% occupancy last weekend.
Wow.
And, we also had people in town for a bunch of smaller meetings and conventions. You had people coming in to board the cruise ships that were departing on Sunday. You also had people here for destination weddings. So, St. Patrick's Day festivities. Someone was saying, they saw more people in yellow for Savannah Bananas than they did people in green for St. Patrick's Day. So, it was just an example of what we do so well in New Orleans, which is diverse events. Every type of interest and activity. There was something for everyone here last weekend, and we hosted all of these things simultaneously, beautifully, and the city was packed. So we're working hard to, keep that momentum going.
Well, I attended the New Orleans Book Fest. I went to Super Sunday. I got caught in traffic with St. Patty's Day parades, and I saw lots of yellow. So I personally experienced all of these things in one way or another. I didn't happen to go into any destination type things. But I also passed and stopped in traffic because of a wedding that was coming down the street. They were doing a second lap. So
on Esplanade?
Yeah. So
was it the one on that? There was one on Esplanade that I almost got caught in.
Yeah.
I saw that.
So y'all experienced everything. I love it.
Yeah. It's all right. So what is the deal with Chicago and New Orleans?
Well, Chicago is one of our biggest markets, and many people may not realize that New Orleans and Company actually has a salesperson who is based in Chicago who works on our team, and her job is to be in constant communication with those Chicago customers. And when I say customers, we're really talking about the meeting planners, the meeting professionals who work at the big associations throughout the Chicago area, who are very influential and can decide where some of the country's biggest meetings will convene. So these are groups like the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, for example. But what we did last night in Chicago was to have an event, a New Orleans event for all of those customers. So Walt Leger, our CEO, Stephanie Turner on our team, our head of convention sales, and then our team at the convention center and also Caesars went to Chicago, had an event to just really have FaceTime with our customers and to bring a little taste of New Orleans, to talk about what was happening in the city, to talk about how we can help them bring their meetings and events here. So it was a really great event. I wasn't there, but talking to the team, they said they had a great turnout. And it's just an example that, you know, the convention business is so competitive, and it really, you know, these individuals who are planning these huge meetings, they can go anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world. And so we want to make sure that they are top of mind with New Orleans. Our sales managers have worked with these folks for decades, and it's just nice to have that face-to-face connection. So that's what we did in Chicago last night, and it went really well.
I like Chicagoans. The Chicagoans really have a good feel for New Orleans, and they're a lot of fun. I love Chicagoans, and interestingly enough, I'm a member of the American Marketing Association, which is based in Chicago, and around the corner from them is the American Medical Association. And so it's a really interesting relationship. Now, one of the things that is that I find really interesting is that you are meeting with media outlets as well.
Yep.
And tell us about that.
We did, you know, so we also, I mean, it was a sales mission, but also sort of a PR mission. So we, in addition to having an event with the customers, we also invited some folks from the NBC affiliate in Chicago, from Meetings Today, and a couple of other media outlets. So again, that was just an opportunity for them to talk with our fearless leader, Walt Leger, about what's going on in New Orleans. And of course, you know, this was focused on the convention market, but, you know, there's a lot of consumers in Chicago that are looking for summer family travel. They're looking for places to go, maybe coming to Jazz Fest or something like that. So any kind of PR we can get in the Chicago area is going to be a good thing, not only for those big convention bookings, but also for leisure travel for families from that area.
Well, Kelly, we're going to have to take a break now, but when we come back, got a number of things want to make sure that we touch on, including the American Revolution and the Opera Festival, and French Quarter Fest is back. That's just a taste that I hope you'll talk about after we take this quick break. This is Will Sutton and Eddie Francis. We're in conversation with Kelly Schultz from New Orleans and Company. Stay tuned because we'll hear more from Kelly on the other side of the break. This is WBOK 1230 AM with New Orleans. It's talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Good Friday morning, I'm Daryl Forges with WDSU News, and here's your headlines. A boy is rushed to the hospital after being shot. Police tell us a boy was shot at least once around 1 a.m. this morning. The shooting happened on Hendy Street in Algiers. We're working to find out more information from police, like the condition of the victim and a possible suspect. As the war with Iran continues, looking at the price of gas here at home, it's 6 cents higher from yesterday at $3.55 a gallon on average in Louisiana. That's the same price in Jefferson Parish, a few cents cheaper in Orleans Parish, and on the North Shore, the average price is $3.52. Today, Mayor Helena Moreno will be revealing more details on the master plan to continue to grow the airport. Today, a news conference will be held to discuss the airport's 20-year master plan, which focuses on major upgrades, expanded air service, and economic growth. All right, the Pelicans have a win streak going, y'all. They beat the Clippers again last night after a stunning comeback victory over L.A. earlier this week. Trey Murphy put up 27 points, and the team was just clicking. It's the Pelicans' third straight win and seventh straight at home. They're back in action tomorrow against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And in Baton Rouge, starting today, head coach Kim Mulkey and star player Flau'jae Johnson will lead LSU in their first game of the NCAA tournament. The Tigers face off against the Jacksonville Dolphins at 5 p.m. Johnson, who is a senior this year, is hoping she can lead her team back to the Final Four for one last time. Best of luck to them as they make their way through the tournament. I'm Daryl Forges. That's your headlines for WBOK. Have a great day.
Hey, everybody, it's Graylin Bryant Banks.
And Kimber White Dupree.
From the front porch.
Some convos are too good to miss. Now you can pull up a chair to the front porch anytime.
Just search WBOK Media and subscribe to the Front Porch Podcast.
Download, share, and hit us with a 5-star rating because New Orleans culture deserves to be heard loud and clear.
Good morning, Wake Up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show right here on WBOK, 1230 a.m. And if you're just tuning in, that's okay because you're right on time. We're in conversation with Kelly Schultz from New Orleans and Company. I'm Will Sutton, and with me is Eddie Francis. So, Kelly, we've got a number of things coming up, and I'd love to hear from you. I'm just going to give you 3. And ask you to touch on those 3, and we'll get to some others. But the American Revolution exhibit sounds fascinating, and the New Orleans Opera Festival and the French Quarter Fest.
All right. Well, you gave me 3, but we could sit here all day and talk about events and things that are happening in the city because there's so much going on. But first of all, the American Revolution, the Augmented Exhibition, it opens today at the Historic New Orleans Collection. If people have not been to the Historic New Orleans Collection, they really should go. It is an absolute treasure in our city and in the heart of the French Quarter. But today they're opening an exhibition that's really an immersive technology experience. So it's called the American Revolution, the Augmented Exhibition, and it uses a 3D technology and also a tablet where visitors can use that technology to explore moments of the American Revolution. So the Boston Tea Party, the signing of the Declaration of Independence, using this technology to really learn about all of those things, but also the pivotal role that New Orleans and the Gulf South played in our nation's history. So it's a high-tech opportunity. It opens today, but it runs through January 17th. So we really encourage people to get over there and check this out. It's another one of our many, many incredible museums around the city. The Opera Festival, I think that was the second one you wanted me to talk about. The inaugural New Orleans Opera Festival is taking place next weekend, so March 24th through April 1st. And it's celebrating our city's rich history with opera. And they'll be doing things throughout the French Quarter, and this is presented by the New Orleans Opera Association. So it's a festival that has a really diverse lineup of productions, concerts, and again, immersive experiences, and really just celebrates the cultural fabric of our city, especially the opera. So that's March 24th through April 1st. And then French Quarter Fest. French Quarter Fest takes place April 16th through the 19th. This is one of our most beloved spring traditions. It's been going on now since 1984, if you can believe that.
Yeah, that's wild.
1984, yeah. But this is going to be the 2026 festival is going to be one of the largest in our history. So there are over 300 live performances. There are 70 food vendors who will offer over 275 menu items. The lineup, as always, is 100% local musicians. And this year they're going to have a headline performance by New Orleans native PJ Morton. So people are really excited to have this incredible Grammy Award-winning artist and New Orleans native coming back for French Quarter Fest.
Wow. And tell me if this is new. I don't remember this before. The French Quarter Fest is much beloved for lots of music and food and a good time, and coming before New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival, and a biggie reason, and it's free. But there's a $5 for Fest this year. I think this is the first time they've done that.
You are correct. It is the first time they're doing this, but French Quarter Fest is a free festival. And New Orleans and Company is one of the many sponsors of this event, and we are happy to sponsor it. But a few days ago, there was a press conference, and Emily Madero, the CEO of French Quarter Fest, she talked about a new thing. It's called $5 for Fest. So it's a new fundraising initiative. So people who are there can choose to make a donation for $5. It's totally optional, but the goal there is just to really be able to sustain the festival and keep it free and keep it accessible to everyone. So as people are out there enjoying the music and the food, if they choose to make a donation, they can. They're also going to have some other new things this year, like a 5K that is happening. There's the After Dark concert series, which is returning. There's always the kickoff parade. So just a really great weekend. And people take so much pride in French Quarter Fest as showcasing 800 local musicians. It's really incredible.
So, Kelly, before I get to awards and honors, one thing I want to make sure I do, as far as Opera Fest is concerned, which is really, really cool, is shout out Xavier. And they've brought opera back to Xavier. My dad was in the program here. And then Opera Creole. And I think that the work that Opera Creole has done, I think the work that Xavier's doing, John Ware, what he's doing with the program, I think that's a big help in the resurgence of opera in New Orleans. So I just wanted to make sure they got their shout outs for that. But big thing is New Orleans has been looking really good as far as awards and honors, whether we're talking about the airport, NOMA, the Children's Museum. Talk about the honors that we've been getting and some of our treasured features in the city.
Sure. Well, thank you for mentioning Xavier and the connection to the opera. I'm glad you said that. But yes, we are as a city winning lots of awards and honors, and so these things really matter. People are like, well, what does it matter? But the thing is that when we, as a city, and our venues and traditions are being recognized in the media and by different awards, people really do look at that and consider that when they're making their travel plans. So just a couple of things. TripAdvisor named us number 5 on the list of top U.S. cities to visit in 2026.
That's pretty good.
Very good. The Louisiana Children's Museum was named one of the top 9 children's museums in the United States by Travel and Leisure. If you've not been to the Children's Museum over at City Park, it is incredible. Tiffany is the leader over there. She's an incredible businesswoman and a member of our board of directors at New Orleans and Company. USA Today did some awards for the 10 best, and these are based on reader chosen awards. New Orleans Museum of Art was ranked the 10th best in the country, and the Best Off Sculpture Garden at City Park, right there next to New Orleans Museum of Art, was named 9th in the nation. And then Best Immersive Art Experiences, Jamnola, was voted as number 5. So these are the readers of USA Today, travelers who are calling out our cultural institutions as among the best in the entire country. And that doesn't even include what our airport, the airport has been receiving lots of awards too for the customer experience at the airport and their music program also, because y'all know they do a really great job showcasing our musicians right there on the main floor of the airport. If you're getting out of your baggage claim area, there's always live music going on, which was honored with this national award.
Yeah.
Well, let me just give some context as a primarily print and emerging new media digital journalist. USA Today at one point was the #1 paper in terms of circulation. And even today with the digital focus, they've got 3.2 million daily print readers, 3.2 million, and over 2 million paid subscribers. So to be on a list like that, I think means a lot.
Yeah.
It really does. I'm so glad you said that. I mean, these are national awards and they're chosen by readers. And what I just shared with y'all is only the first 3 months of 2026. I mean, we have a really long list of awards for the entire year of 25, 24, even going back, years before that. So we're going to continue adding, hopefully, to our list of honors for the city, and then also, for our company, New Orleans & Company. We're frequently recognized as one of the top places to work in the city. So that's important to us as well. And our CEO was just recognized by a local newspaper as one of the most inspiring C-suite leaders. So the awards for our people and our company also are important to us as well.
So, Kelly, we have been seeing long lines at the airport here and elsewhere. So it's not just New Orleanians and South Louisianans and Louisianans experiencing lines at their airport. It's where they make connections or their destination and then on the way back. What's the impact here in New Orleans on our visitors and our business people who rely on people coming in and in some cases, people are going out to take care of business?
Well, you're right. This is something that has affected New Orleans as well as cities around the country. So because of the partial government shutdown right now, our TSA transportation security officers at the airport are not being paid. And these are individuals who are essential to the safety and security of all of the flying passengers all over the country and the reliability of our entire nation's travel system. So these are individuals who every day show up to work, even if they're not being paid, and they protect millions of travelers and support getting people in and out of New Orleans, but also all over the country. So we are working with the U.S. Travel Association. We are encouraging Congress to act with urgency and to ensure that these individuals can be paid. It's tough. I mean, if you can't afford to put gas in the car or pay for childcare for the day, you may be inclined to call out sick to work and not show up. And then that's contributing to the really long lines that we've seen on some of the more peak travel days. So spring break is coming up. So we are really hoping that this can come to an end. These hardworking Americans and New Orleanians can be paid. And, Will, we also just encourage, if you are flying and you are traveling anywhere and you see a TSA worker who is there showing up unpaid, just to be kind to them, say thank you. They deserve it, and we want people to just acknowledge them and thank them for their service now more than ever.
So how much is this affecting the tourism and hospitality business? I mean, you said last weekend 90% at the hotels, which is very strong. But we know some of those people drive in or take the train from Mobile or elsewhere. Do you see much impact on these incredible events that we're hosting?
Well, as you said, some of our folks that are coming in are from regional drive-in audience. Many people come in via those regional visitors come in from the Amtrak train, the new Mardi Gras service that connects us to Mobile. The airport, our friends at the airport tell us that their peak travel days are really Sunday and Monday. So I think those are the days that we have seen longer lines. I don't really have any data in terms of how it's affected New Orleans, but we are working closely with the U.S. Travel Association, which is based in Washington, D.C., and they're sort of monitoring the national impact and economic consequences. But, bottom line is we appreciate these folks who are showing up to work, and we want them to get paid. They're essential workers. They have to be paid, and we are grateful to them for their service.
Okay, Kelly, thanks for that update. And thanks for joining us here on the Good Morning Show on WBOK 1230 AM. Always a pleasure to hear from you and New Orleans and Company, and we look forward to another visit sometime soon.
All right. Thanks, Will. Thanks, Eddie. Y'all have a great weekend.
All right. Lord's blessings. Have a great day. All right, folks, it's time for a break. I'm Will Sutton and Eddie Francis. We just wrapped up a conversation about what's going on in the city of New Orleans in terms of tourism and hospitality with Kelly Schultz from New Orleans and Company. And we're about to jump into a conversation with our friends from Liberty Bank. They're going to be talking with us about commercial lending and products and opportunities. So you might not think that connects for you, but you know what? Every time they come, I learn something new. So I suggest that you hang in there and hear what we hear from our friends at Liberty Bank. This is WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Another mostly sunny day. Also, temperatures warming up a little bit first half of the day. We will feel that difference. And then as we get to the afternoon, expecting highs 76 to 80 degrees. Light winds for us. And then for tonight, mostly clear. Lows 52 to 57. And then as we look ahead to Saturday, highs 78 to 84. More 80s as we approach Sunday on into next week. From the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Richard.
Hey, y'all. Make sure you tune in on Thursdays at 12:30 p.m. for the Roux with Chef Bunny, sponsored by Blue Plate Mayonnaise on WBOK 12:30 a.m.
Greetings and salutations. I am Edward B. Coulon Smith, chairman of the board of the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. We'd like to invite you to tune in every Wednesday at 12 noon on WBOK to listen in on Black to Business and be a part of the movement that's going on. Thank you.
The Historic New Orleans Collection presents a new exhibition open through June 7th, 2026, The Trail They Blazed. Built collaboratively with people who participated in the local civil rights movement, The Trail They Blazed presents stories of social and racial justice straight from the people who lived them. Listen to leaders tell their stories of resistance and persistence in their own voices, recorded by the Historic New Orleans Collection. Plan your visit to 520 Royal Street in the French Quarter and reserve your free tickets at hnoc.org today.
New Orleans is built to host, and at the New Orleans Ernest N. Morial Convention Center, it is where big ideas, major events, and careers come together under one roof. As the 6th largest convention center in the country with a team recognized as a national top workplace, we are proud to power the events that keep our city moving forward. Our staff of more than 450 brings nearly 3,900 years of combined experience, an average of almost 9 years each. If you're looking for a robust benefits package, career stability, and opportunity, visit mccno.com to explore open positions today.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton.
When it comes to family planning, should you go with a will or a trust?
A will is like leaving instructions to the court. It tells them who gets what, but your family still has to go through a succession, which can be costly and time-consuming.
A trust, on the other hand, avoids court altogether. So when the time comes, everything transfers smoothly to your loved ones.
It's a little more work up front, but way less hassle and expense later. Plan smart, save time, and take care of your family.
This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
Good morning, Wake Up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK. New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton. It's 8:32 a.m. Please, please, please watch out for the babies and the kiddos on their way to school. School zone speed limits of 20 miles per hour are still in effect until 9 a.m. So don't think that all of them are in school. They are not. There are different school start times. And we want to make sure that all of them get to where they need to be. We need those butts in the seats so we can get some things into their heads that will make them productive citizens and contributors, and they too can learn about banking and financial health. I'm here with Eddie Francis, and we've got our friends from Liberty Bank. We love to hear from Dr. Angel Burns, and of course we've got a big gun from Liberty
yes,
today.
We do.
We've got James Savage, Senior Vice President and Executive Director of Commercial Lending Group South for Liberty Bank and Trust.
A mouthful.
First timer, right?
Yes,
This is my first time here. I appreciate you having me.
All right. So, we got a thing that we like to do on a Good Morning Show. So I'm going to throw this out. Who your mama and then? Who your people? Where you from?
So I was born in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. My family still lives there. I met my wife in 2008 or 2006. We got married in 2008, and she was from New Orleans, and she gave it a good try living outside of New Orleans for a while. But
been there, done that.
Like, no, babe, we need to get home, and so we moved over here in 2009, and I've been here since then. I got involved in banking as soon as I got over here, and New Orleans is home now.
Wonderful. How long you been with Liberty Bank now?
Going on about 2 years.
Okay. Wonderful.
It's been a good 2 years.
All right. So let's start with still you, but what's your part of Liberty Bank? I mean, what is it that you deal with?
So I'm in the commercial lending department. I'm here in New Orleans, and I help our commercial team execute on loans throughout our footprint that range from New Orleans to Detroit, Memphis, Tennessee, Montgomery, Alabama, Houston, Texas, Kansas City, Louisville, Kentucky, and Chicago. We have a strong presence in Chicago, and so I and also do some lending myself locally in those markets. So it's an interesting job.
Great. Well, one of the things, once again, folks, is to realize that our Liberty Bank is not simply a local banking institution. This is a national banking institution, and we're happy to have birthed it. But they've gone bigger and bigger and bigger, and commercial lending is a big part of that. So with
Will, I was going to say, I think it's the best of both worlds, because Liberty is just what you said, a community-based bank, helping people get that first home, that first car loan, and so on, help you get that credit score together. But we can do some multi-million-dollar deals across the country as well. I think it's an exciting balance.
It is. It's very exciting, and it's a testament to what Dr. Francis and his family and the McDonald's and their family have done, obviously starting here, but then taking what they do very well here and expanding it around the country. And so, as a commercial lender, the only real difference between what we do and kind of what the rest of the bank does is just the numbers are a little bit bigger. Okay. I mean, the mission is the same in whatever market that we're in. And it's to help people get into homes, to grow their businesses. Banks are constantly trying to differentiate themselves. And if you look closely at each bank, you can probably find out how they're trying to do that. The differentiator that we try to achieve every day is to focus on the low to moderate income communities, obviously in the New Orleans and Louisiana area, but around the country. So, even though the numbers that we look at in commercial are bigger, the projects are still achieving the same objective. Low to moderate income, affordable housing around the country. All right, businesses owned by minority individuals around the country. And so it's interesting that the mission for the bank is the same, whether you're talking about a car loan or you're talking about a multi-million-dollar project.
So I ask this as a business owner myself. Talk about the importance of working with businesses, especially small businesses, especially in a market like New Orleans where there are so many small businesses. I mean, why is it so important to be able to work with them as far as providing some sort of capital or resources? Why is that? Why should people really, really pay attention to that?
Because the reality is the small businesses are what drives the economy. I mean, if you look at Liberty Bank, started as a small business, okay? I grew up in a small business. My father, put all of his kids through college on a small business, okay? I still feel like today I'm being employed by a small business, even though we are now $1 billion in assets. The small business owners, or providing capital to a small business owner, gives business owners freedom from having to be employed by someone else, and then they're able to empower their employees to hopefully do the same thing. And so, in our economy, the small businesses just are having a harder time finding access to capital. Okay, whether it be from regulations or pricing. And so our mission as a community bank, mission-driven Liberty Bank, we feel honestly that if we don't give it our best shot to provide capital to those individuals and those business owners, they may have a hard time finding it elsewhere.
Okay, so the different types of loans, because sometimes we think of a loan where I need a loan to buy the Christmas presents because I did start early and set up the Christmas fund or set up whatever fund you use for things like that. But usually that's kind of peanuts to the type of loans that you're talking about. So who are the clients and the customers for these much larger loans?
So again, they're not much larger. I mean, in the big scheme of things, we're talking about loan requests anywhere from $250,000 up to about a couple million. Okay.
Okay, James.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever spent $200,000 on Christmas gifts.
We're talking about like a $500 loan versus $1 million loan.
Maybe I'm a little isolated in the numbers that I see daily, but you're right.
Jamie is deep in the commercial lending world.
Large numbers.
So we have to say this in James' defense, though. When Cheryl walked in, she did say, "I brought the big guns."
I meant it when I said it.
Meant that.
That's right. That's
Look,
right.
We're talking. Jamie has taught me. We're talking about investment loans, owner-occupied, SBA lending, construction, multi-family construction, single-family construction. I've been doing my homework with Jamie.
The types of loans that we really are excited about is, a business owner that may be renting their space, wanting to buy their space, okay, or a business owner that has outgrown their space that wants to build a new space that they can grow in. A developer that wants to build a couple single-family homes. Obviously we know how desperately we need housing here in New Orleans, affordable housing. And so, it really is. What we want to do is geared toward business owners. We do have some projects that, are financing large developers that are doing some big projects, but at the end of the day, those still help the people in the communities that we operate. And so, the type of loans, again, we do provide working capital. But most of it is just to allow people to add value to their business, because unless you can start adding assets to your balance sheet, you really can't grow wealth.
Mm-hmm.
So let's zone in on single family and multifamily construction. What does that look like with Liberty Bank?
So they range. It is an opportunity where we team with developers or contractors, and usually the developer or their contractor puts in a certain amount of equity. It typically is 20 to 25%. And then the bank provides the financing to construct those projects. We work with the contractor who provides us with a budget, and monthly they come to the bank and ask for financing based on what they've completed, and we advance based on the completion of the project. And then once it's completed, then they get their C of O, and then it converts from a construction loan into a permanent loan that is usually repaid over a 20 to 25-year period. And it's priced competitively, and it's something that we do very well.
And I asked Jamie, how long do these loans take? Yeah. And what I learned from him is that he said anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 months, could be longer. And then I also learned why. And it's really preparation of the person who wants to try to become approved. And they have this whole list of things. What are some of the things, Jamie, that to move the process along faster, you think?
Well, a lot of it is having a relationship with a banker. Okay. Every business owner should have a very good banker, a very good CPA, a very good attorney. And having a relationship with a banker before you really need a banker is very important, okay? Because they're going to be able to understand your business, understand your needs before you actually have them. The other thing is being prepared. When we've become a very regulated industry, and so we have to use documentation in order to verify the fact that an individual or business deserves a loan and that the bank can get paid back. And so it's critical to always have your financial house in order, okay? I mean, we typically require 3 years worth of tax returns, a current personal financial statement. We obviously pull credit. And so, as just an individual borrower, I always have the latest 3 years of my tax returns. I sit down and do a personal financial statement every year, so that if I ever need to borrow money, or if I go get a car loan, or if for some reason that, I need to access my financial information, it's ready. Okay. A lot of times the process on our end gets delayed because it takes borrowers weeks or months to be able to gather that all information. And so, my advice to anybody in business is to keep your financial house in order, so that when you need to borrow money, you have everything at the drop of a hat to provide to your banker, and establish that relationship with your banker before you really need one.
That seems to, as I'm thinking through that seems to take a lot of planning. So people have to be really vigilant, and they have to really, it seems like they have to really track everything that's happening, and they have to kind of look down the road at things. Is that
correct?
A fair
and we
way
actually, that's where the relationship with the banker helps. I mean, I was actually talking to Mr. McDonald yesterday about an opportunity, and he had coached this individual over the last several years on how to get his business bankable. Okay. And so that's where that relationship comes in. It's not just about, hey, Mr. Banker, I need to borrow money. It's, Mr. Banker, can you help me on a path towards getting my business in a position where I can expand it by borrowing additional money? And that gets in the form of, introducing them to the right people to help them, whether it be a CPA or a controller, educating them on what they're going to need, so that, a lot of people are able to put stuff together, but they don't know what they need to put together. So, that's where the relationship with the banker helps. It's helping you get your business in we don't charge by the hour. Okay. So, our services are free. We make our money if we're able to, lend someone money and earn a small bit of interest. And so, utilize that relationship with a banker. It's not necessarily going to cost you anything to ask the questions and to learn about how other businesses have done things and what they've seen over their career that have caused people to either be successful or or not.
So let's say somebody's in the market for a house, and of course that's kind of a big deal that you're looking for a house. They go around the city, they go around the region. It's like, well, this works, but for this and this and this, and they decide, I want to build my own house. They're not a builder, they're not a general contractor. Can they become one and get a loan with Liberty?
Well, they could. I mean, I wouldn't recommend that. Okay, I would recommend people employ experts in the relative field. But what we could do, we have mortgage bankers throughout our footprint. Probably introduce them to some very good builders or very good contractors that we've worked in the past. Because construction is can be risky if it's not performed by the right person. And so, as we go through opportunities, we analyze the risk at various stages, and construction risk is a big one. And so, as a bank, we try to mitigate that by utilizing contractors that have experience and wherewithal. So my advice in that situation would be to say, to reach out to your banker, get an idea of what you could afford, okay, and then could be connected with a quality contractor in the area that the bank has worked with in the past to be able to execute it to everyone's satisfaction.
So how different is the credit score for some of the work that you do versus some of the other types of things where you're applying for a credit card?
So it's a little less stringent in my world. I mean, it's still very important. People need to pay attention to their credit score. But what we do in the commercial world, and it's starting to filter a little bit more into other aspects of the bank, is that we look at our job as more of an art than a science, and we look at the holistic picture. So if someone may have a low credit score, there may be other attributes that they provide that we can overcome that obstacle with. For instance, character. I mean, the core of banking is the 5 C's of credit, which is character, capacity, capital, collateral, and conditions. Okay, and character goes a long way in our world. Okay, and so if you have a relationship with a banker that you've built over the years, and I go and I'm trying to get a loan approved, and you may have a substandard credit score or it's on the line, and I can vouch for your character, or someone in the bank can vouch for your character. I mean, that goes a long way, because at the end of the day, our objective is to provide people access to capital that they need and get paid back. And as long as we can accomplish those two objectives, everyone's happy.
So I because I'm a business owner, I talk to people who are also business owners, and we all try to keep each other encouraged when everybody's going through the peaks and valleys. And so when people are going through the valleys, they get very discouraged, and they are trying to figure out, can I do this? Can I do this? And when you say something to them like, well, have you thought about a loan? And it's just like, oh, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. So for anybody who is, whether it's business or otherwise, for anybody who is talking themselves out of a loan right now, or at least they don't even want to make a phone call or a visit, why should they not give up so easily?
Well, everyone needs capital. Okay, the economy does not revolve without capital being injected at various points of the process. A bank, in theory, is not going to lend someone money that they can't pay back. Right. Okay, so if you're dealing with credible people and they lend you money, then they obviously have confidence in you that you're going to pay it back. So you should have confidence in yourself that you can pay it back. Okay. The other thing is, people that need to borrow money should probably try to borrow it before they need it, because typically when you need it, okay, it's going to be harder for maybe a bank to justify giving it to you if you don't have a historical relationship with a banker or a bank. And so, that would be my two pieces of advice: is don't be afraid to borrow money, because if you're dealing with reputable lenders, they're not going to give you money that they don't have confidence in you paying back, and therefore you should have confidence in yourself. And secondly, try to borrow money before you really need it, because it's probably going to be easier to access it.
Jamie said it twice, that we might need to say it again. I was hoping that line would come up, that part about borrowing that money when you're in a good place, when you don't necessarily need the money, and certainly when you're not desperate, because that's when, you said earlier, you touched on that, people panic, they don't have their house in order. It's better to borrow proactively and then be responsible with that money. It's really tough when you're in a desperate situation for the bank to say yes. And like Todd would say, he might have to say not now. So we'd rather say yes.
Right. Got it. Well, we're going to have to take a break. And when we come back, let's talk more about lending and Liberty Bank and the philosophy and the how can you get to yes. This is the Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton with Eddie Francis, and we're here with our friends from Liberty Bank, James Sablitz and Joe Burns from Liberty, talking about banking and financial health and more. This is WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about
all day long.
This is The Law and Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton.
If you had $1 million, would you leave it to an 18-year-old?
Hopefully not, but that's exactly what can happen with a simple will. The money goes straight to your kids when they hit the legal age, no guardrails.
A trust lets you control when and how they receive their inheritance. You can set ages, milestones, or even make sure they finish school first.
Give them security, not a spending spree.
This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
New Orleans, the city of festivals and second chances. This is Mr. Rocky of Faithers in Jesus the Christ, inviting everyone to come to the table of grace. No matter where you are or what you're dealing with, guilt, bad habits, mistakes, or heavy hearts, Jesus still calls us his friend, and his grace is waiting for us. Tune in to WBOK 1230 AM or watch live on Facebook or Instagram. We'll reflect on his work on the cross, his resurrection, his ascension, and the hope of his return for we who that believe and have received him by faith. So join us at the table of grace, where mercy is fresh, forgiveness is real, and grace is served for people like you and me.
Hoops, Heat, The Truth, on demand. Ball Don't Lie is now live on all podcast platforms. Tap in, search WBOK Media, find Ball Don't Lie, and bring the fire with you wherever you go. Download, share, and leave that 5-star review, because the game doesn't stop when the show ends.
Welcome to Chemical of the Month from the Community Scientist and Rise St. James. This month's focus is polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, or PAHs, formed when fuels like oil, gas, wood, or trash are burned. These chemicals can enter the air we breathe and settle into our soil and water. Many PAHs are known carcinogens, adding to the health burdens faced by communities living near industry. Learn how to protect your health at risestjames.org.
Transform your bathroom with the beautiful quality of Bath Planet. As a trusted leader in bathroom renovation, Bath Planet has earned the Good Housekeeping seal, a symbol of quality and consumer confidence for over 100 years. Get half off installation or 18 months with no interest and no payments. Whether it's tub replacement, a shower replacement, or a tub-to-shower conversion, Bath Planet makes your custom bath fast, easy, and affordable. Here's how it works. 1. Call to schedule your free, no-obligation consultation. 2. Our design experts come to you with real samples to customize your dream bath. 3. Our certified installers complete the transformation in as little as 1 day. And right now, for a limited time, you can upgrade your bathroom for 50% off installation or choose 18 months with no interest and no payments. But you need to call now. This special offer is only available by calling 800-981-8177. That's 800-981-8177. Call 800-981-8177 right now before the offer ends.
This is The Law and Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton. Comparing the cost of will, successions, and trusts.
A will might only be a few $100s, but your family could end up paying more in legal fees.
Trust costs more upfront, but saves time, stress, and potentially thousands.
Think of it as paying a little now to avoid a big bill later. Smart planning means big savings for your family. This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I am Will Sutton, and with me is Eddie Francis, and we also have our friends from Liberty Bank, James Sablich. I'm saying that right?
Sablich, you're close.
Okay, all right. And Angel Burns. So we got just a couple of minutes, and want to wrap up with what are the key takeaways for our WBOK family of listeners.
Well, first off, I want to thank you for having us. I want everybody just to know. I know Liberty Bank has a great reputation here in the New Orleans area, but just the one thing I would just make sure everyone knows is that we are a full service bank. Okay, there's not much that anyone else can do that we can't do. Okay, and another thing maybe to be proud of is that we've taken the success, or I haven't, but the McDonald family and the Francis family has taken the success that we've established here in New Orleans and has began replicating it around the country. Okay, to serve the people that really need a bank like Liberty in the various markets that we serve.
All right, wonderful. Thanks again for coming in and sharing with us. As I told the listeners before you come on, every time Liberty comes on, I learn something. So
I do too.
So that's a good thing.
We all do. We're learning together.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we're going to have to wrap it up and get out of here. Make room for the front porch coming up next after the Good Morning Show. And, of course, we get to have a Smiley this afternoon and Gerard Stevens on the reality check later on at 4 p.m. Eddie and I have had a good time learning and sharing. And we appreciate all of our WBOK family of listeners and watchers on 12:30 a.m. on the YouTube channel and our Facebook Live people as well.
Yes, many thanks for hanging out with us as always. Mel Fern Ware, Jacqueline Wilmore, Alicia Plummer, and Paul Jensen. Appreciate you, Deborah Jones, Andrew Harris. Really, really appreciate y'all. Thank you for hanging out as always.
All right. Well, we're going to get up and get out of here. Looking forward to having a wonderful weekend, whatever that might bring. Incredible weather. Stay tuned, folks. And Eddie, let's give that talk line number because they won't be calling us, but they'll have it ready to call the Kimber in the front porch.
Yeah, by the Kimber and Grayland. 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422. They would love to hear from you.
All right. This is WBOK 12:30 a.m. with New Orleans. Just talking about all day long.